The third night of the BTS Arirang Tour in Mexico City gave fans one of the most emotional moments of the entire weekend. On May 10th, 2026, the final night of BTS's three-show run in the city already carried a different feeling. There was celebration, but there was also the quiet awareness that this chapter was about to end. Throughout the night, the crowd inside the stadium sang every word with overwhelming energy. Every section of the venue seemed to move as one, creating the kind of atmosphere only BTS and ARMY can build together. As the encore approached, fans knew the surprise song segment was coming. By then, anticipation had become almost unbearable. The surprise song tradition on the tour had already created unforgettable memories in earlier cities, and Mexico City had already received special moments on the first two nights. But on day 3, something felt different. There was a pause in the air, as if the stadium itself was holding its breath. Then the first familiar notes of Spring Day began to play. For a second, there was stunned silence. Then came a wave of screams, so loud it seemed to shake the entire venue. The reaction was immediate because Spring Day is not simply another song in BTS's catalog. For many fans, it is one of the group's most treasured emotional anthems. The surprise was especially meaningful because Spring Day had not been part of the fixed nightly setlist of the tour, making its arrival on the final Mexico City night feel deeply personal. As the members stood beneath the lights, the entire stadium transformed from a concert crowd into a giant choir. Thousands of voices rose together, singing every line with astonishing clarity. There was no need for elaborate staging in that moment. The emotion carried everything. Fans could be seen raising their light sticks higher, many swaying slowly, many simply standing still as they tried to absorb what was happening. Even through fan cams, the atmosphere felt unusually intimate for a venue of that scale. The beauty of Spring Day has always been the way it turns longing into comfort. That feeling became even stronger in Mexico City because it came at the end of 3 nights that had already felt historic for BTS and Mexican ARMY. BTS's Mexico return had drawn massive crowds and citywide attention throughout the week. Each member seemed to let the moment breathe instead of rushing through it. They smiled softly at the crowd, sometimes stepping back to let fans sing entire sections on their own. That exchange between artist and audience became the heart of the performance. It no longer felt like a surprise song segment. It felt like a shared goodbye to the Mexico City stop of the tour. For many fans, that was the moment the emotion of day 3 truly landed. The power of the performance also came from contrast. Earlier in the night, the concert had been full of explosive choreography, fire, and high-energy anthems. Then Spring Day arrived and changed the emotional temperature of the entire stadium. Instead of intensity, there was tenderness. Instead of spectacle, there was memory. According to current setlist reports, Spring Day appeared as one of the 2 surprise songs performed on May 10th, alongside Airplane PT2, making the emotional shift even more striking. Fans online quickly began calling the moment one of the standout highlights of the entire Arirang World Tour Mexico stop. Fan cams captured not only the members on stage, but also the sound of thousands singing together, which may be the most unforgettable part of all. Long after the song ended, the feeling stayed in the air. That is what made Spring Day on May 10th in Mexico City so special. It was not only a surprise song, but a moment that felt like BTS and ARMY quietly promising that even after goodbye, they will meet again. As the final echoes of Spring Day faded, the stadium did not immediately move on. For several seconds, the audience seemed unwilling to break the spell. The members looked around slowly, taking in the sight of thousands of lights glowing back at them like stars scattered across the night. There was something especially moving about seeing BTS stand quietly in that moment, allowing the emotion to settle instead of rushing into the next song. Even from far away, fan cams captured faces in the crowd that were smiling, crying, and singing at the same time. For longtime fans, Spring Day has always carried memories of distance, reunion, and the hope that time will eventually bring people together again. That meaning felt even more powerful on the final night in Mexico City because the concert itself had become a memory while it was still happening. The voices of Mexican ARMY seemed to wrap around the stage, turning the performance into something bigger than a simple encore surprise. It felt like the kind of moment that cannot be fully recreated by recordings, no matter how many times fans replay the fan cams later. When the members finally spoke afterward, the atmosphere was still fragile and warm, as if everyone knew they had just shared one of the emotional peaks of the tour. And that is why Spring Day on May 10th, 2026, will likely remain one of the most beloved memories from BTS's 3 unforgettable nights in Mexico City.